After a $12 million restoration, Savannah's newly restored cathedral stood pristine until a gunman stormed in and lit the bishop's chair on fire. This is the Catholic Frequency Podcast. Follow us on YouTube and visit our website at catholicfrequency.com. When a gunman stormed into the cathedral in Savannah, Georgia, what happened next wasn't in the missal. It was a shocking display of courage, profanity, and grit by an Irish priest that saved the beautiful church. It was a quiet morning in 2003 when a would-be arsonist entered Savannah's Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, a neo-Gothic revival masterpiece built by Irish immigrants after the Civil War. Among the Catholic faithful, it was and is the crown jewel of the South. 32-year-old Stuart Vincent Smith was filled with rage and intent on burning one of the masterpieces of Catholic architecture in the United States down to the ground. What he hadn't counted on was the firm resolve of Monsignor William O'Neil, who had personally overseen every detail of the cathedral's recently completed multi-million-dollar facelift. When Monsignor O'Neil heard the commotion of Smith in the sanctuary lighting the bishop's chair on fire, he rushed to see what was happening, and what he saw made him furious. He found himself filled with a level of courage that shocked everyone, including him, the cops, and especially the gunman. Words then echoed loudly through the sanctuary that had never been spoken before in that sacred place. A litany of spicy words often spoken by sailors and those without the ability to tame their tongues. But even though his role as priest requires displaying virtuous behavior, Monsignor O'Neil was furious at what was happening, and in the heat of the moment, he was determined to stop the arsonist and save the cathedral, no matter the cost. Later, he would write in his memoir, "To say that I was extremely angry was to put it very mildly. I was raging and had lost my sense of fear." He remembered that when the man approached him with a gun, he used a litany of vulgar words, telling him to drop the blanking gun or he would strangle him and knock his blanking head off. The gunman was shocked. The words from the priest froze him in place, still pointing his weapon at Monsignor O'Neil. Years later, the Monsignor would recall that it wasn't very priestly of him to use such vulgar language, but that he believed that it actually helped to save his life. As firefighters and police swarmed the scene, Monsignor O'Neil recalls urging a nearby officer to take out the gunman. He was still so furious that he told him if he wouldn't, the officer could hand him his gun and he would do it himself. When the officers finally subdued the gunman, they cuffed Monsignor O'Neil as well to restrain him from attacking the would-be arsonist. Repairs to the church would cost $500,000. Stuart Vincent Smith was later sentenced to 20 years in jail. At his sentencing, a statement was read from Monsignor O'Neil, whose passionate rage had subsided into care for his attacker. O'Neil's statement read, "Even though the defendant claims he does not believe in a God, I want him to know that I will continue to pray for him every day, that he will find peace and courage to live responsibly." The arsonist went to prison, and O'Neil continued to serve as rector of the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist for another decade. He died in 2021. Savannah's cathedral stands today not just as stone and spire, but as a testament. Courage can roar, yet compassion must endure. Monsignor O'Neil taught us, sometimes it's the fight and the forgiveness that makes us human. Doing the right thing isn't always polished or pious. It's raw, real, and messy. On that fateful day, so many years ago, a priest's fury saved a cathedral, but his mercy afterward sowed the seeds for salvation. It's a reminder that true strength isn't just fighting fire with fire. It's also daring to love after the flames.